Horrifying footage shows Ukrainian special forces engaging in a tense and bloody gun battle with Russian Wagner troops in the trenches. This footage was released by the Ukrainian Armed Forces Mechanized Brigade of the Ground Forces, and shows soldiers navigating a winding trench and firing rifles at the Russian Wagner troops on the ground, dozens of Russian Wagners being crushed in the trenches. The images show the moment the battle erupts as grenades are thrown and a gun battle ensues, before 3 of the Russian Wagners flee after being wounded. The footage ends as the Ukrainian soldiers chase the Russians and apparently finish the job. Ukrainian special forces also raided Russian trenches to fight over Bakhmut's Road of Life. A volunteer unit of the Ukrainian army from Belarus posted a video of their assault on the Russian trenches near Bakhmut's Road of Life. The unit called itself Terror, a nickname for one of their comrades who was injured in the battle, but it is likely that many Russian Wagner casualties can be seen in the footage. As the troops headed for the trenches, the Belarusians began throwing bagloads of grenades at the Russian Wagner troops before opening fire with their rifles. Meanwhile, Ukrainian Special Forces howitzers shelled the position of Russian Wagner troops near Donetsk. A Ukrainian Special Forces officer explained, "On our front the Russian Wagner troops were very active. So we as an artillery unit fired 3 to 4 shells, or even more." The footage shows howitzers of the Ukrainian Special Forces firing at the positions of the Russian Wagner troops. At the same time, a Russian Wagner Troop's Soviet tank was blown to pieces by a special Ukrainian mine heading towards Donetsk. This footage released by the Motorized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and shows a Russian T-72B3 tank in flames after driving straight into a mine-laden trap. This footage was allegedly filmed in the Donetsk Oblast region of Ukraine. In Avdiivka direction, Russian Wagner troopers are trying to advance towards Ukrainian Special Forces positions, withdrawing barreled artillery, mortars, AGS, and more. Successful reconnaissance of Ukrainian forces with corrections and artillery fire of Ukrainian Special Forces destroys Russian Wagner troop invading forces. The pictures show mortars from the Ukrainian Special Forces hitting the positions of the Russian Wagner troops who were about to overrun the Ukrainian Special Forces, and a huge explosion ensued. On the other hand, Yevgeny Prigozhin said for the second time in a matter of days that his troops would leave Bakhmut if they did not receive the ammunition they needed to suppress the battle. He delivered his latest tirade in a profanity-filled audio message that coincided with Russia marking the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany in World War II with its traditional parade in Moscow's Red Square. Combat orders came yesterday clearly stating that if we abandon our positions in Bakhmut it will be considered a betrayal of the motherland, said Prigozhin, but if there is no ammunition then we will leave our positions and be the ones to ask who really betrayed the motherland. Apparently, the one who betrayed the motherland was the one who signed the order to supply too little ammunition. He said his troops would stay in Bakhmut and continue to insist that they get their ammunition for a few more days. Prigozhin also made cryptic but obscene comments about those in charge of Russia's special military operations in Ukraine that risked getting him into more trouble with the Kremlin. In a lengthy audio rant about a claimed ammunition shortage for Wagner fighters in eastern Ukraine, Prigozhin refers to a figure he calls Happy Grandpa, who thinks all is well with the military campaign, something Moscow calls Operation Special Military. Prigozhin made the comments referring to what he said was the Defense Ministry's continued refusal to supply its fighters with the number of shells they need to take full control of the city of